How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Every Who down in Whoville Village liked Christmas a lot, but the Grinch, who lived north of Whoville Village, did not. The Grinch hated Christmas the whole Christmas season. Quite no one knows the know. Now please don't ask why. It could be perhaps that his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight. But I think that the most likely reason of all that may have been that his heart was too small.
Two sizes.
Two sizes small.
Too small. Flip the page. Watch the book, not that. Watch this. Okay. But
whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve, hating the Who's, staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown
at the warm lighted windows below in their town. For he knew every Who would be down in Whoville below.
Down in Whoville below.
Was busy now
hanging a mistletoe.
Nope, up here. And they're hanging their stockings. Snarled
with his sleeve. Tomorrow is Christmas. It's practically here. Then the Grinch with his green fingers nervously often
drumming.
I must stop Christmas from coming.
For tomorrow he knew
that
all the Who girls and
boys would wake bright and early. They would rush for their toys, and then all the noise and the noise.
That's one thing he hated.
That's one thing he hated. All the noise. Then
the Who's,
young and old, would sit down to a feast. Their feast. Their feast on Who pudding.
And rare
Who roast beef. Oh, roast beef is a feast I can't stand in the least.
Turn the page.
Beef.
Alright, want me to sing? Want me to read?
Oh yeah, no.
And then they do something he liked least of all. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together
with Christmas bells ringing. They'll stand hand in hand, and the Who's will start singing.
You need to blow your nose? Look. Blow. Again? Okay. And they'll sing.
And they'll sing.
And the more the Grinch thought of the Who Christmas sing, the more the Grinch thought,
I must stop this whole thing. But the 53 years I could not put up with it now.
I must stop Christmas
from coming. But how? Then he got an awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea.
You need to blow your nose again? Okay. Well. Again? Okay.
I'll make us.
Now, I know just what to do.
I know just what to do. I'll make
The Grinch laughed in his
the
throat.
Grinch laughed in his throat. I'll make a quick Santa Claus hat and make a coat. He chuckled and clucked. What a great Grinch he tricked. With this hat and this coat, I'll look just like Saint Nick. All I need is reindeer. The Grinch looked around. So has
But
reindeer.
no, since reindeer are scarce.
But no reindeer as scarce. There's none to be found. Did that stop the Grinch? Passion. So he took his dog Max, and he took some red bread, and he tied a big horn on the top of his head. So he loaded some bags and some old empty sacks on a ramshackle sleigh, and he whistled for Max.
And the Grinch said,
Then the Grinch said, "Get up!"
and the
The
sleigh
sleigh started down with who's they losing their town.
All the windows were dark, quiet snow filled the air. All the Who's were all dreaming sweet dreams without care. When he came to the first little house on the square,
This is stop number one, the old Grinchy Claus hissed in his throat, empty bags in his fist. Then he slid down the chimney, himself
a rather tight pinch.
a ladder type pinch, so that Santa could do, so could the Grinch. He got stuck for a minute or two, then he stuck his head out from the fireplace. Whose widow
Where the fireplace flew,
little fireplace flew
where the little Who stockings.
with a little blue stocking hang on the wall. These stockings, he Grinch, are the first thing to go.
Then he slithered and slunk,
But then he stood and slunk with a
smile unpleasant.
smile most unpleasant. He took every present.
Guns and bicycles, roller skates, drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorn and plums.
Then he stuffed them in bags randomly, then stuffed all the bags one by one up the chimney. I'm going to say what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be chimney. But Dr. Seuss tried to make all the words rhyme.
Okay. Then he slunk to the icebox.
Then he slunk to the icebox. He took the Who's feast. He took the Who pudding. He took the roast beef.
He cleaned out that icebox as quick as a flash.
And that Grinch, he would took the last tin of Who hash. Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee. Now with the Grinch, I will stuff at the tree.
Then the Grinch grabbed the tree and he started to shove.
So when he saw,
When he heard,
he heard a small sound like a coo of a dove. He turned around fast. He saw
a small
small school. And the sunbeam grew. There was no more than two.
The Grinch had been caught by this tiny Who daughter, who got out of bed for a cup of cold water. She stared at the Grinch and said, "Santa Claus, why? Why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why?" But you know that... Oh, sorry.
But you know that old Grinch was so smart and so he thought of a lie and he thought up quick.
Why?
Why my sweet little top? There's a light on this tree that just won't light on one side. So I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there and I'll bring it back here.
And his,
Then his food fooled the child. Then he patted her head and got her a drink and sent her to bed. And when Cindy Lou Who was in bed with her cup, he cut the chimney and stuffed the trip on the walls.
no, and the last thing he took.
And the last thing he took was a log for their fire. On their walls he left nothing but hooks and some wire.
And one speck of food.
And the one speck of food he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse. Then he did the same thing to the other whose houses, leaving crumb too small for the other whose mouses. Every time when he left the crumb, he just picked it up.
It was 1/4 dawn, all the Who's still abed, all the Who's still a snooze when he packed up his sled. Packed it up with their presents, the ribbons, the wrappings, the tags and the tinsels, the trimmings, the trappings.
Hey, like the first word in trapezoid.
Yep, trapezoids. 3,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet. He rode with his load to the tip-top to dump it.
His good friend coming. They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up a minute or two, and then the Who's then in Whoville all cry, boo-hoo. That's the noise when the Grinch guy simply must hear. So he paused, and the Grinch put a hand to his ear, and he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started that low, then it started to grow. So you popped his eye.
But that sound wasn't sad. Why, this sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so. But it was merry. Very.
He popped his eyes.
Then he shook.
Then he shook.
What he saw was a shocking surprise. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came. Somehow or other, it came just the same.
Same rhyme. Then the Grinch standed there with his feet ice cold in the snow. He puzzled and puzzled until
How could this be so?
how could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags.
And he puzzled 3 hours till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought,
Means a little bit more.
maybe Christmas
Maybe
doesn't come from a store.
store.
Doesn't come from a store. And what happened then?
Then
Well, in Whoville they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day.
Then the Grinch's small heart didn't feel quite so tight that day.
He whizzed with his load.
Low to the bright morning light.
He brought back the toys.
He brought back the toys and the food for the feast.
And
he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beef.
Merry Christmas, Aunt Kathy.
Merry Christmas.
I hope you like the story.
I hope you like the story.
Look, kisses. Bye.
Bye.